Alright everybody, this is Sean from GoPart.com. In this installation we're going to be working on a 2005 Toyota Camry. It's the same, we're going to be taking off the interior door panel. This is going to be important if you either drop something inside or you want to replace the power window regulator, or if you have a Camry that was manufactured in Japan instead of the United States. You're going to have to remove the door panel if you want to change the side mirror in order to access the wiring harness. It's a pretty easy job. I'm using a flathead screwdriver and a Phillips screwdriver. I've got a door panel clip tool, which is actually it's helpful for getting the clips off. For these, you don't necessarily need them. Putty knife or a flathead screwdriver can also work, provided that you're careful not to break any of the tabs. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing we want to do is we're going to want to pry it and remove the small panel that's behind the interior door handle here. We want to gently pry and remove that. We're battling the sun a little bit, sorry about that. Okay, there's a Phillips screw there. Inside the interior door pull, there's a small rubber mat. You want to gently pry and remove that. There's a Phillips screw down there. Or go ahead and, and then by the door hinge here, there's going to be a small screw cover here. Pry and remove that. Whoop. There we go. Okay, so we got our 3 screws here. We'll go ahead and loosen and remove all those. Now, just so you know, these are going to be our Phillips screws here. The one with the washer is going to be the one that goes closest to the door hinge. You just kind of want to remember that for later. Don't lose that washer. Okay. Now I'll go ahead and remove this bezel here around the door handle. And then we're going to go ahead and lift and lift up the power window plate. Now, when we were working on this one earlier, this plug is in there pretty good. Since I'm not going to be replacing the power window switch, because there's nothing wrong with it in this car, I'm actually going to leave that one plugged in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew the Phillips screws that secure it to this entire panel here. Whenever you're doing it, if you want to go ahead and disconnect both of those, you can. You got 2 wiring harnesses on the underside there, and the underside of the panel. I'll go ahead and disconnect those. See if this one wants to come out. Still doesn't want to come out. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and loosen the Phillips screws. Okay, so got the panel off. Switch is here. Again, there's a wiring harness holding the switch there. You can go ahead and disconnect that. Ours is on there pretty good. There's no point in me trying to really get it off of there. So I'm going to go ahead and leave it there for the time being. So our switch is off. Now, inside, we're going to start to see some screws here. There's a Phillips screw there, which is going to be for our mounting bracket, which I'll get you a good look at in just a second. We're actually going to leave that on there. Okay, I think we... Oh, nope, got a couple more Phillips screws along the bottom here. Go ahead and loosen those up. These are going to be one of our screws for up top. These screws along the bottom are actually bolts as well. Looks like maybe a, I don't know, I guess maybe a 6mm. But Phillips screwdriver will work. You just want to make sure that you understand the difference, so whenever we put everything back together, it goes back together properly. Okay. Now, one more Phillips screw, sorry. Go ahead and get you a good look at that. Now down inside here is a Phillips screw. This is going to be where our power window switch is. We're going to go ahead and loosen and remove that Phillips screw. That's the mounting bracket. Mounts it to the door frame, so that's what I'll be doing here. Alright, so loosening the Phillips screw here. Now this one's very different from the others. It's a large screw. Pretty easy to see the difference there. Okay, so that one's out. Go ahead and start, make sure we got all the screws out. Looks like we did. There we go. Now there's a series of retaining clips that snap into the back. They attach the door panel to the door frame. Obviously we have screws and stuff helping as well, but that's what the clips are what keep it from rattling around. So you want to be careful. You want to be firm with it. You just heard whenever I tugged that they disengaged. That's how you want it to happen. You want it to just kind of give it a tug and have it pull free. You don't want to you know, bend your plastic or anything like that. You see how that kind of just comes off, and then we can. Oh, sorry about that. I also want to pry and remove a small trim panel here by the side mirror mount. There we go. All right. Now we can lift and remove the door panel, which there is something here on the back that I'm going to want to show you. So why don't you guys come over here real quick. Down behind, there's a couple of door latch cables there. And what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the door latch cables from the back of the handle, which I'm going to kind of talk you through it because the angle is a little awkward for me to film it while I do it. But I'll go ahead and now talk you through it. But there's two cables there on the back. All right, everyone still with me? Not boring you to tears, am I? So you snap the cables from the little molding, and then you just lift and remove them, and then voila, the door panel's off. As I mentioned, this is going to be important for if you want to replace the interior door handle. Also going to be important if you want to work with the speaker. There's a screw we lost during a different installation. You know, and if you're going to do the power window regulator, you're going to want to peel back your water shield, and I'll get to that. But this is, you know, several different repairs that you're going to be able to, or that you're going to have to take this off to do. Okay? Make sure that there's not any retaining clips still with the door. Usually they'll stay with these are the clips I was referring to, by the way. See if I can get you a good shot of them here. I'm trying to battle the sun. There we go. One here, one up here. You know, they snap into the door frame as well as slide into the door panel. Sometimes, if it's your second or third time taking a door panel off, they'll stay with the door frame. They'll pull out of the door panel. If that happens, grab some needle nose pliers, pull them out, reattach them to the door frame, and then go ahead and get it back into place. Okay. So if you want to go ahead and reattach the door panel. Now when putting the door panel back on, you want to make sure that you feed all your wiring harnesses through the opening in the panel, okay? You don't want to get this thing snapped into place and then realize that, you know, you've got to feed everything back through. You're going to go ahead and re-engage the 2 locking rods on the back of your door handle assembly. Okay. Okay, got those all back into place. We're going to lift the door panel up and onto the lip of the door frame. Okay, so now our door panel's onto the door. And now we're going to be firm, but not overly firm. What you're going to do is you're just kind of pop those clips back into place. You should pop right back in if you've got it positioned properly. And you'll see right away that those clips already do a pretty good job of keeping the door frame in place. Alright, now go ahead and go around the door, make sure you didn't miss any. Alright. Looks like we're in great shape there. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead and start tightening up the Phillips screws. Remember the large head Phillips screw is the one that goes inside here. So go ahead and tighten that up. Okay. We got 2 Phillips screws along the bottom. Remember, those have the hex heads. Those are the small dark colored ones. So we'll go ahead and tighten those up. They don't have to be super tight, but definitely, again, want them tight enough to make sure that you're offering the proper support to those door panel clips that are holding the door panel to the door there. Okay. Just a couple more screws here. Remember, the one with the washer is the one that goes here, underneath the screw cover by the door lat, or by the door hinge, excuse me. Tighten that up. Okay. A couple more here. You want to go ahead and tighten up the Phillips screw inside the interior door handle. And just to go ahead and give you a count, there's 3, 4, 5 Phillips screws that you're going to be taking off and putting back on whenever you're removing the door panel. Okay, now, for our window switch, remember I said we weren't going to disconnect it. The window switch here, so we're going to go ahead and secure that to the panel. don't want to over tighten these screws because you are screwing into plastic and there's no need to put too much stress on the housing there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and tighten these last Phillips screws here, and then we're going to reconnect the two wiring harnesses that go to the underside of the power window, power door lock control panel there. If I can get this last screw into place. Let's see here. It's close. We're getting close. It's kind of an awkward angle from the way I'm holding it here. Let's see here. Where'd you go, screw? And, it's in there somewhere. So we're gonna have to. And the reason it's so difficult is because I have that one plug plugged in here. It'll be a lot easier for you if you went ahead and unplugged your power window switch. So I'm kind of limited to the angle I can access this last screw at, which is what's giving me so much trouble. So there we have it. Switch is in place. Everything's in good shape there. Go ahead and reconnect our wiring harnesses to the underside of the control panel here. Feed the front end in first. Slide that down into place. Make sure the switches are in good shape there. There they are. Okay. Tighten the Phillips screw inside the pull cup. Reattach our screw covers. Put our mat back in. Final piece is going to be the triangular trim panel up top here. Snap that guy back into place. And there you go, we're in good shape.